other stuff we can talk about. But here's what's interesting. I don't know if the Republicans who are running for this office know any of these things. Because they occupy a different reality, it seems. According to them, everything was really good in 2008, when we were going through the worst economic crisis in our lifetimes. Unemployment and uninsured rates were up, and we were hopelessly addicted to foreign oil, and bin Laden was still on the loose. This apparently was the golden age that I messed up. I messed it up. And Obamacare and immigrants and taxes and deficits all just messed everything up. And they're so glum. They're really so frustrated. And you know what? Look, part of our DNA is we're always dissatisfied. That's part of what makes America great. We don't rest on our laurels, right? We always find something wrong, and there is a lot that has to be fixed. Everybody here has got a list of things that we have to tackle. But maybe what makes us a little different as Democrats is we try to base our analysis on facts and reason. So we don't look at the evidence and see that every time a Democratic president's been in office, the economy seems to be doing a little better than when the Republicans in office, and we don't automatically say, well, you just have to vote for a Democrat every time. On the other hand, we also don't say that if you cut taxes for the very top 1% and the economy doesn't do well, that doing more of that will grow the economy by 4 or 5 or 8%. We don't do that either because that's factually seems to be incorrect. They want to repeal the Affordable Care Act. I know that's shocking, and kick millions of people off their health insurance. But when you ask them, well, what is it that is so bothering you about people having health insurance? They can't tell you. Because originally it was, well, it's never going to work. All right, so then it started working. Then they say, well, it's going to blow up the deficit. And it's not blowing up the deficit. And then they said, well, it's going to drive everybody else's premiums up, but that hasn't happened. So at some point you'd think they'd say, well, maybe we should just try to work to make health insurance even better, right? Right? Right. On climate change. Now, if you went to a doctor, no, let's change that. You go to 100 doctors, and 99 of them tell you, you've got diabetes. You've got to stop eating bacon and donuts every day. And we have to monitor your health, and we got to fix this. You wouldn't say, oh, that's a conspiracy. They're making that up. All 99 of those doctors got together with Obama to try to prevent me from having bacon and donuts. You wouldn't do that. That's not what you do. There's not a single person who would do that. I mean, it'd be funny, but except this is about climate change. This was an analogy. And the planet's warming 99% of scientists have said it's warming, and we've got the Republican chairman of the Senate Energy and Environment Committee carrying a snowball into the Senate chambers to show that there's still snow and that climate change isn't happening. I am not making that up. That's what happened. That's what happened. That's crazy. I was going to quote Kanye, but I can't because this is a family audience. But it's cray. And by the way, the same thing is true on foreign policy. I don't want to keep on going, but have you noticed that every one of these candidates say, Obama's weak. He's Putin's kicking sand in his face. When I talk to Putin, he's going to straighten out. Just looking at him, he's going to be. And then it turns out they can't handle a bunch of CNBC moderators at a debate. I mean, let me tell you, if you can't handle those guys, then I don't think the Chinese and the Russians are going to be too worried about you. Anyway.